He's pretty sure he's heard of you before, although the details are maybe a little hazy. He wonders if you have something for him to drink. Says it's both everything you could want and never enough. Says you look like you've got a powerful thirst to do something in this world. Good, bad, not really sure, but it seems like you've been drinking in your destiny and liking the flavor. Wonders if you could take the time to help a man slake his own thirst. You'd be doing him a liquid solid. You're a do-gooder, so you know you want to. Either way, he hopes you find a way to wet your whistle before the world comes to an awful dry end and leaves us all thirsting for more. Says life's like a mystery drink. Sometimes it's amazing, and sometimes it's awful. But either way, you can't stop drinking till you're dead. Sure, but that's nowhere near as quick and easy. Who wants to stop to chew? Wants to raise a glass to you getting the world fixed up a bit. Respects how you always try to help, no matter that the world's fate is hard to swallow. Sees why you joined up with the myriad. They like a peaceful drink, just like you. Something calm and soothing for your belly. But who cares about them? Says you'd be as bummed out as him if you came for the hot stuff. The glugmocker, nimhimbibble, and his favourite radium syrup. That one's even more intoxicating now, aged in truck tankers and all. Without a drink, and radium syrup especially, he can't move, much less think, as the power of his mind is directly proportioned to the quantity of syrup he swigs. That's why he's called Gulp. The drink helps him forget the state the world is in, but it only lasts until tomorrow. The world is still doomed, even if the sun goes up. Figures the real problem is finding something to drink. He wants you to know he has other interests too. He's the Surf Epelago's self-proclaimed ornithologist, for example. There are other ways than a cold drink to relieve stress, even in these dark times, and, fortunately for you, he can help. Watching Pippi's flap is calming, but better yet are the ones you can look at and touch, like quacks. Squeezing them is a great way to relax. They're better at floating than flapping, so you should be able to net a few without growing yourself a pair of wings. Don't stay too long. Who knows what lies beneath? The Quack Hollow. It's just lonely. Get off and slow down a bit. Locked. Take this seriously, or it'll take you down. Sure useful. For when you have to shoot whole bunches of things at once. You have a good eye for that stuff. You need to line up the switches so they match. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. Looks like it could cut anything. There are places up ahead far worse than this. Time to jet. On your own again. Ah, see that e-waste? Always handy. Let's see. Gulp says he'll bibble anything once, as long as it's drinkalicious, even rocket fuel. He once mixed up some tankers and drank that. It was a real lift-off. That leads him to the bottom of that particular bottle. Radium syrup. If only he could find a tanker truck to empty. He's not in a state to go looking, so he's counting on you to help. Go find him a tanker truck and bring back some of that precious radium syrup. Please. Thanks you for understanding how dire his thirst can be.
The light shines on.
Better isn't the word I would use.
Right, not better. Best.
You're the worst.
The worst of being the worst. We're just the best.
This story needs a hero. This gutway has centuries of old waste. halfway there. Get out of here. Great shot. Slash and dash. It's surprisingly bug-free underground. Shot. The deep cut. Got it. Flex those smart muscles and open the hatch. Just a few moves left. Make them count. That should be enough glow juice for two. Paths can be hard to find here. On a leash. Right way to change altitude. That's going to leave a mark. Well placed. Slice and dice. All things end. Close encounter. The best stories are about heroes. This is such a story. Blast off. Gulp says he wants to take you with him on a super funny happy slide. Sharing is caring, and one drink for two is just right. Gulp says seeing your face is like seeing his own reflection at the bottom of a glass. It never gets old. He's been looking forward to a rendezvous, and it's on you to make it happen. There's even a chance the syrup is more intoxicating now from being aged in a radiated tanker. He's sure there are even more tanker trucks with radium syrup out there waiting to be emptied. Blesses your heart for doing your part. Cheers when you're here.
Come toward the light.
Slow down. Why would you rush in?
When you see what you want, why wait?
Well, what about being careful?
Pah! Poppycock! Full speed ahead!
Aufschlag. Maleide.
Gulp says drinking shouldn't keep you from thinking. He wonders what's on your mind.
Kuring.
Understands you have other places you need to go. Gulp thanks you, says a drink or two won't do any harm. He refuses to drink alone. You're his friend now. Gulp says he just can't get enough of that crunky syrup. It's so refreshing. Don't you agree? He really appreciated that you shared a drink with him. You took a risk and deserve a reward. So he intends to keep the promise he gave you when you first met. He's got a few things, you see, that no one else has. Claims to understand the alchemy of drinks. Lots to sample and savor. Gulp says he's heard a juicy rumor that you found an ark. He wonders what kind of drinks that might inspire. Figures that's inspiration enough for a whole raft of drinks. Hard to know what you'd do with an ark if the world survives, but maybe that's why it's still here, right? Says he's ready to toast your effort to keep the world juicy. It's drink-worthy either way. Wants to know if you might want a master blender along on your ark trip.
So, what we have here is an opportunity to help your next. There's a seat open on the ark should you want to offer it as a gesture of appreciation.
A conscious choice to be alone means you won't miss anyone.
The thing we're really missing here is someone with compassion. You just seem to have passion for yourself.
The world would be a better place if we were left alone to handle it. Then we'd only have to talk to ourselves, and that's how you get the good answers.
Well, anyone in their right mind would agree you're better off on your own. Let's hope the ark carries you all the way there.
Says he wants to drown his disappointment in all his drinks at once. It's hard to understand the guzzle, but it's something about flip-flop the flip-flops and not getting sauced. Didn't have much else to say, so no problem. The light of day shows how bad the world has become. That's enough quacks to sustain the Googlide flipper with infinite ammunition. Goop says he was there when the Porky Puff took Out of Date's leg, so this World Eater has made it personal. After that, Out of Date started using his head instead of his legs and came up with the plan on how to best make a stand against the World Eaters, and it wasn't by foot. That's how he got tasked with rebuilding the Googlide. He seems happy to talk. Says you'll see each other later. Let's see. Can't let the air just suck you in like that. See that broken boat over there? Looks like it still floats. Shield your eyes if the daylight hurts you. It's the porcupine nibbling bark. It took quite a liking to the crunchy stuff after munching down out-of-date's leg. Unleash the quacks. Ain't that cute? The two big playing with quacks. Can you feel it? It's the brisk wind of change. Don't let this opportunity slide. He thanks you for dealing with another World Eater. You're halfway there. He's got word out of date spotted HollowPoiint and has a feeling your time has come. He hopes you're up for it. Even though you're good-hearted, you shouldn't miss this opportunity to confront the Predator. Just head back to the foot of the tree. Fingers crossed HollowPoiint will stay put until you're there. The sky is as bright as it's going to be.
lo yualo.
Out of Date says the time has come for you to reconcile with your past.
Shintuata moti huasa.
Lupin is still staying in the camp where he was brought up. He hopes you'll find the answers you are looking for there.
Shintuata moti huasa.
Even though darkness is a part of your nature, he suggests you try to keep your cool, as the best fighter is never angry.
Atu awa ya ea. Shintuata moti huasa.
He'll point you in the right direction, but the rest is up to you. This part of the journey is one you'll have to do on your own. Lupin's camp has always been there, hidden deep inside the mountains.
Ko bubuye bui. Valo alo hero.
Out of Date hopes you'll find your way and the answers you were looking for once you're there.
Ya, sawata mua.
He knows he said it before, but the time has come to put an end to the Lupin's reign of terror.
Nuka, nuburak. Far kobe mako to far titaba.
You should get over there, come face to face with destiny. It's going to be you against the Lupin. No rules.
Bilia antuf.
He's happy to help.
Tuloya, puto lula.
Seems surprised you have to go. Time to figure out how you'll spend your night. Lupin's camp has always been there, hidden deep inside the mountains. Tread carefully here. This is Lupin's camp. Lupin says he's been looking forward to this moment. He wanted you to come here and see for yourself where it all started. He was so little when your mother and kin came here to put an end to his mother just because she was different, a hunter. That night, the hunter became the hunted, trapped with nowhere to run. He says your mother showed no mercy. Only vengeance. He can see that you're not like your mother. There's something different about you. Maybe you would have made a better decision than she did, and let them be. They orphaned him, left him alone, an outcast and a freak. LupaLupin says he's been reliving the moment every night since then. He says your mother and her disciples started something that couldn't be undone. They created the monster he would become. He knew his time would come, and he was patient. So, when he got news about your birth, he knew how to get revenge that would last. That's why he spared you that night he raised the village when you were a child. He wanted you to suffer for life, like he had. He marked you for life, so he'd recognize you when you met again, and you'd eventually remember where you came from. His hunger grew insatiable over the years to come. He tried, but being vegetarian wasn't in his nature, and he couldn't go hungry. But he's never taken a life for the sake of appetite. It's always been about survival, and that our true self is being who we are. A deep look into nature will make you understand everything better, and that natural selection eliminates, and the strongest survive. Fate is for those too weak to determine their own destiny, and now the time has come for you to accept yours. Fired up. Blasting everything to bits. Listen to the creatures of the night.
Yowotulua. Oyobut Paikatawa.
Out of Date says that from what he's heard, you've been busy.
Mauketo Tul Atu Yamalao.
He says he appreciates what you've done so far, but unfortunately he's got urgent news from his friend Noko in the east.
Come Ripa Kabobe Farhi.
Out of Date says that even though he's unsure about your intentions, he hopes you'll support Noko.
Ebaso Tobubu Bukoye.
He says he'll point you in the right direction, but finding Noko and making sure she gets what she needs is up to you. That doesn't sound good. Out of Date was spot on. The hoof puff needs to be stopped.
Mauya.
Out of Date says that Noko is worried now that the Eastern World Eater is stepping up its activity.
Mauya. Momombusu? Atu Wamawa.
He explains that Noko keeps a fabled steed that she has planned to ride out to the World Eater, but needs help to get it prepared.
Atu Wamawa.
Out of Date suggests that you should head east as fast as possible and see what you can do to help.
Vunko Vuntu.
He's happy to help.
Tulua Ba Vulua.
Says you'll see each other later. I don't think you could make a home here. Let's see. Someone could probably make good use of that plastic scrap over there. This beast can move. This area is biocontaminated. It's really hazardous. This must be Bionucleus 7H. Better be careful. The contamination here can mess with your molecular structure. Vump is the place to be, obviously. There are some gorgeous colors returning to the world. A crossway. This means you have a choice to make. Which way? This region is known as the Knoopstonies. You can't find a harder place in the world. Down to half your health. Flash the slash. Tapped hard. Now that's a flesh wound. Hey, there's some e-waste. Hold on to that. Someone has to end this plague before it's too late. Ooh, there's some rubber scrap for you. Ah, the Gnote pen. Nocco never leaves this place. She's always put the living things first. Let's see.
Puri kumbala mua. Sadurutu.
Nooks isn't an easy language, but at least it's manageable. She says she is so happy to see you again.
Masama kialdo male canodo.
She wonders if you remember her. She's Nocco. She let you ride her Majut when you were a kid.
Berry?
Noko remembers you used to chase around with so much energy and is glad to see you haven't lost any of that spark.
Pala.
But that's all long gone now, though. Memories show us where we've been, not where we're going.
Anoraka papum. Pala.
Seems reluctant to even say its name. It's become personal to her too, since it's taken so many of her innocent gnotes as prey.
Monibasa. Andro?
Noko remembers those days too, but she never lets herself wallow in them, no matter how tempting that can be.
Urasa durut. Anoraka papum. Pendrine senaman.
She sees you're back to buck with Lupin. Can't see how there's any way to avoid that now. Not for long, at least.
Tukonda. Taifanamenuma.
She says the horrors of your younger days were enough to ruin anyone, but not you. You've got all that cheer about you still.
Vaiseno kasaman warut. Ingada aldo. Taifanamenuma.
Noko says history is like the trail you've been on. You can walk back down it any time you like, until it's worn smooth. But you get to blaze your own trail from here.
Domale tu.
Then you are stronger than her. She can't help wanting Lupin to pay for what he did to her gnotes, despite the fact it's against her nature.
Run, Dark, run!
It's not a race.
You only say that because you're losing.
Doesn't mean I'm wrong.
No, there are lots of other reasons you're wrong.
Kanamunta. Berry?
Asks how many paths you've wandered in the world, and if you ever wonder about what might have changed if you'd taken different ones.
Berry?
You can't do everything you want, can't go everywhere, can't see everything, only what you can.
Brumblere marsamom. Kala.
So happy the world is going to live, would have been crushed to see all the gnotes die with it.
Kanoruta. Poilakuto.
Likes that you stood up for the world and spurred your way toward helping it out.
Asadurutu.
Glad you saw the light with the myriad. They always bring a sparkliness to any day, and sometimes the night.
Pialtuma.
Says that's only for a little while, and when your eyes clear, you see everything even better than before.
Inadabsunka.
But let's not speak of that now.
Ferena masalapu.
She has an idea where the Majut might have gone, as there's no other place it likes as much as its own corner of the open wild. She's even named it the Majut Meadow.
Kamonu. Masamal. Kanyala notoro.
The Majut will recognize the scent you've attracted while being here, so it'll probably trust you enough to follow you.
Sana yote.
You should lead the Majut back here when you find it. It's going to take time to get it calm enough to be able to ride out to the World Eater.
Anoraka papum.
It's the most magnificent creature she's ever encountered. A creature straight out of a dream or story. Growl it into a higher gear. You can make so many amazing things out of wood scrap. found the Majut meadow. Watch out for the Majut. That hurt him. Finished him off. It's a new day to you. Might as well enjoy it. Bangarang. What a blow! Right in the face. Now that the Majut is back in the pen, it seems calm, but Noko is still concerned. She says the Majut is still anxious, but fortunately she knows just the thing it needs to calm down. The Majut once found and ate a bonbon gummy by mistake, and that the chewing really calmed it down. She says that you should find some bonbon gummies for the Majut by the crossway. At least, that's where she found some last time. It's easy to describe. A crossway is where roads meet in a knot and merge. This one is in Sector 7J, if you're familiar with Out-of-Date's map. Is your mount paying attention? Offers you extraordinary prices for extraordinary things. Wants you to know you won't find a better deal anywhere else. Could trade your old things for new. You got the best of that. That's more than stuck. Nothing's more important right now than this. Taking something off your mind. You look ready. At least you're not coming out of this empty-handed. It's time for an adventure, for good or want to get your arms swole? Grab those guns flexors and get pumping that iron. Got to time it right to make them work. Left, right, left, pumping good. Looking better. You move with such confidence. Definitely not open. That cranks like these usually need to be wound to operate the dispenser. What you see is what you get, once it's out of the blind box, that is. You flick the switches in order to greenlight the current and activate the electrons in the panel. Good. The loop is electrified enough to spark. That's a pling-plong booth from the bygone, back when you needed to cable words via buzzwire instead of airwaving them. Makes you look smarter. Get things done before the darkness falls again. Just what you were looking for. Right where it cuts. Looking better than ever. Mush mush. Look at those notices on the board. Too bad the gnotes couldn't read them. If you wander around here, you might find Noko. She just loves those gnotes. Once the power ran out, it made sense to ride gnotes. And that tradition continued through the years. Nope, you still have to feed them, but food's easier to find than go juice. Watch your step here, and you might find tracks of another traveler.